I'm not going to go in order because it's about my San Francisco 49ers, and it is the biggest story of the day. Honestly, our prayers were answered. I can start with that. And Jake Moody was cut by the San Francisco 49ers. He was released. They let him go. We ended up bringing in a kicker, formerly of the Carolina Panthers. His name is Eddie Pinheiro. He's going to be there on a 1-year deal. I think that the 49ers did not want to pay attention to the kicking problem. I think that is basically why we were coming out and saying that Jake Moody's job was safe, and they weren't even thinking about bringing in another kicker. I'm not sure if they gave in to demands or, I mean, by watching Shanahan's reactions to a few of the last kicks from Moody, I think he was out there, but I think that if there wasn't a chance of bringing in the kicker, he didn't want to get in his head more than it was. Eddie Pinheiro is an 88% kicker in the NFL. For some reason, NFL.com lists him as a 7th-year veteran, but he only has stats from 5 years. He didn't kick in the 2020 season as well, which would have been his 2nd season in the NFL. He has kicked a year for the Bears, a year for the Jets, and a few for the Panthers. Inside of 30 yards, he's 26 for 26, never missed a kick. 40 to 49 is where it seems he has his most problems. He's 32 for 41, but over 50 yards, he's 11 for 14. His average kick has been made from 37 yards, which is funny because that seems like where he has the most problem, missing those 9 kicks out of 41. Over his career, he's missed 10 extra points. But it kind of seems like not everybody, but almost everybody has problems in that situation. Now, there's no good way to put this. Brock Purdy did not practice today. He has a problem with his toe. He has a problem with his left shoulder. Shanahan has come out and basically said that there is a very small chance that Brock Purdy is going to play against the Saints in week 2. I already made my video yesterday about this game, driving home from work yesterday, saying, maybe this is the game that we sit out Brock Purdy because of the fact that we're not going to have many games like that this year. I know we have a few games this year that I think aren't the hardest, and this is probably one of our easiest, and there's not really going to be a time to rest Brock Purdy. I think our bye is like week 12, maybe week 13. It's way later in the season, and it might be the best. But now having Shanahan come out and say there's a small chance of him playing, and there's a pretty good chance of him not playing the next couple of weeks. I believe we play the Cardinals next. I believe we play the Jaguars. I'll be at that game. And then I think we play the Rams. The Cardinals are a sneaky team that I don't like, that I don't think that are that great, but they're getting better. Them having, I forgot his name last week, and I forgot it again. The younger wide receiver whose dad played Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison Jr., Marvin Harrison II. I'm not quite sure what they're calling him. But that guy, I think, is going to be the new Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald scored more touchdowns against the 49ers in the history of the 49ers. I think he is going to be the second coming of him, and I want to get better before we play that team. And I think the Rams, honestly, unless Stafford just gets hurt, even with Stafford hurt, that means Garoppolo plays. And I love Jimmy enough to say that Jimmy's got a chance of beating us. The Rams team is good. That's like one of the first really good teams that I'm scared of playing in the season for the 49ers. Now, also at practice, Juan Jennings did not practice. They say that the injury is not as bad as they thought it was going to be. No word if he is going to suit up and play. George Kittle was put on the injured list. He is going to be out for weeks. Brandon Ayuk is already down. He's not coming back until week 6. This leads our offense with Ricky Pearsall. We have Christian McCaffrey, and then we have Kendrick Bourne, who is our new signee. He's going to be coming to us from the New England Patriots. He is a past 49er. He had his best season, I believe, in 2019 when we had Jimmy G as our quarterback. We had Deebo Samuels. We brought in Emmanuel Sanders from the Broncos to be our number 2, which pushed Bourne down. But Bourne still caught some balls. I remember him, but I'll tell you the truth, like, I don't remember him. I didn't love him, and when he left, I didn't, cry. Anybody is somebody at this point. I don't know how to say it, but maybe Tongan, who caught the game winner last week, maybe he's going to become some offensive weapon that's going to fill in and be the new George Kittle. I would love it. I mean, George's reaction at the end of the game last week was awesome. Mac Jones, I was glad when we brought him in. I don't believe he is the best backup quarterback in the league, but at least he has past history of starting, and at least we've seen that, like with Sam Bradford, who came in, Sam Bradford looked like a failure from the Jets. I apologize. Best way to say it, that we brought in. I think we built him up. We got him ready for the NFL in a different way than the Jets were able to do. He left us. I don't think he was supposed to be the number 1 option in Minnesota, but when McCarthy went down, he filled in, and now he's got a big money deal, and he's the starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. The same thing can happen for Mac Jones. I think we only brought him in on a 1-year deal, and I think his plan is to come here, get reps, be able to be seen, and then when there's a job open, maybe the Browns are looking for a quarterback next year. I mean, maybe he could end up going there. I mean, I don't think that's the best situation for him, but that was the one spot that came to my mind that might be looking for a quarterback next season. But the 49ers, we brought in Matt White, a former Jet. I haven't heard of him. I can't think. I remember when Matt White was looked at as he might be the future for the Jets. And then I think the Aaron Rodgers plan threw him out of whack, and he just went to the sideline. I don't know how long he's been out of the league. I don't know why he's looking for a job as of right now, but that could be it. I'll tell you this much. The 49ers could still win this game. The Saints are honestly that bad. That's the way it could be. But maybe we're wrapping up a big present and we're handing it off to New Orleans. But I won't be at work. I'll be on my couch, 10 a.m. on Fox. Saints versus Niners. Let's get it on. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. I'm driving home on a Tuesday, and I probably got the best news that I've gotten in a long time. And it hurts a little bit because of how excited I really am. But the 49ers, they released Jake Moody. Finally. The one stat I heard this morning, and it's been a long time, because the stat was probably read off around 5:15 this morning. I think since week 10, Jake Moody has been 10 for 26 on field goals in the NFL. The NFL! Plus, he hit that big 59-yarder to win the game against the Raiders. But he also missed a big kick in that game. And he missed a big kick in the next game. Plus, he kicked the ball out of bounds on a kickoff. It was preseason, but at that point, I really thought it was the time to let the dude go. I'm not going to say that I'm like scavenging over the internet trying to see what like former NFL kickers there are out there on the market. I mean, I don't know if we're going to bring some guy out of retirement. I know that Robbie Gould, who was the last good kicker for the 49ers, I don't think he's kicked since he's left the 49ers. I think the last time I heard an interview with Robbie Gould, he was living in Chicago. He was coaching high school football with his sons. I think he's enjoying his life. I don't really think that there's a lot of money that the Niners could throw at Robbie Gould to make him want to come back and kick for us. Plus, there was always that kind of tension. It didn't really seem like he wanted to be here. He had no problem cashing the checks. But I think the last 2 off seasons that he was with the Niners, he was really making it seem like he wanted to go back to the Bears, to be close to home. And I don't know. I mean, one year we gave him more money and he ended up staying. But then the next year he was kind of like the same old damn thing. So I don't think Robbie Gould is the answer to the question. But no more Jake Moody. I don't even know if we signed somebody or if we're flying kickers in to try out for the job. But there was a lot of people out there in NFL land that were really surprised that the Niners weren't bringing kickers in yesterday to try and kick for the job. Maybe there were people on the East Coast that they had to fly in. The good news of the whole situation, I don't even want to get to that yet. We're gonna stay in the bad news situation. We won our football game last year. That's all the good news that you need. But George Kittle went down with an injury in the first quarter after scoring a touchdown. Hurt his hamstring. He got put on the injured reserve. He's going to be out for 4 weeks. So we're not going to see him until week 6. Juan Jennings, it came out that his shoulder injury is not as bad as expected, but there's no, we're going day to day. He's questionable. I'm guessing that he's just not going to practice, and maybe he's going to be like a game time decision come Sunday. That sucks, man. Jennings down, and then you got Brandon Ayuk who's out until at least week 6. Kind of makes you wonder who's going to be catching the football for us. I mean, Ricky Pearsall from Florida, he's in his 2nd year. He was catching balls like crazy. It was Brock Purdy, Pearsall, and we had freaking Christian McAllister acting like it was 3 years ago, running and catching balls last week. One hell of a time. But Brock Purdy, he's hurt his shoulder. He's hurt his toe. We got Mac Jones. I said last offseason when we signed Mac Jones that hey, that's good. We've got a former starting quarterback who's going to be our backup. I don't want to say that we have the best backup quarterback in the league. I would almost feel a little bit better if we had Jimmy Garoppolo as the backup, who's down in Los Angeles with the Rams. I'm just always been a Jimmy G guy. I believe in him. I think that there's a good chance that we're going to see him play this season for the Rams down the road. I just don't think there's a way that they stay healthy there. But I don't know. Mac Jones goes in. He's my quarterback. I believe in him. Let's go. We're at that point. But we're at week 1, and we got an injury with Brock Purdy. The last time I can remember him being on the injured list where it was always a question, it was when he had the broken rib during his rookie season. He broke it during the Tampa Bay game, I believe, and he ended up playing out the rest of the season until he really got injured in the NFC Championship game against the Eagles. But I kind of wonder, is there a way that we rest Brock Purdy through week 2? Everybody in the NFL at one point was the best player at their high school. Most of the players in the NFL were some of the best players on their college team. So, I mean, everybody in the NFL can play. No matter who you say is a bum and doesn't deserve to be there, at one point, they were the best guy on the football field somewhere that everybody was looking at. It was like, hey, that guy right there, that dude knows ball. that guy can play. We're playing against the New Orleans Saints. Spencer Rattler is starting quarterback. Hey, as a little asterisk, Derek Carr, I believe it was during the Chargers game on YouTube, he was making his rookie analysis, coverage being out there on the YouTube stream. I thought he was honestly pretty good. I don't think that Derek Carr really has the name that he's going to be the next big guy. I think he's always just going to be like, oh, look, there's Derek Carr. But I think if he sticks at it, I honestly think that he could get pretty good. It's just finding a niche to where somebody's like, oh, let's bring Derek Carr in. It's just, he's Derek Carr. But I honestly thought he was really good. But Spencer Rattler, starting quarterback. Chris Olave, he got injured. I think he was with the Saints. I'm pretty sure he's the best Saints wide receiver they got. Running back for the Saints, unless like Deuce McAllister or Ricky Williams is going to play in this game, I really don't know who their running back is. The Saints are probably the worst team in the NFL. People are kind of making jokes about how bad the Dolphins played last week. I would love to have Mike come back to the 49ers, be the offensive coordinator. We once again kind of build that team back together. Having those three guys back in the system, I think that we could really build a great team. I understand why guys, take jobs elsewhere to become head coaches. It doesn't double your salary, but it's a lot more money rolling in, but it is a lot more responsibility. It's a lot of you got to have faith and ownership in a GM that's going to give you a team to play. No matter how good you are as a coach, if they give you crap out there, you got a crap team, and people are going to think you don't know how to coach. That's just the way it's going to be. But I don't want to say this is going to be the easiest game of the year for us. It's week 2. It's early, but the Saints are really a developmental team. I want to see us just roll in, get a win, get out of there. It doesn't matter how we get it. If we have to do it with no Ayuk, if we have to do it with no Jennings, no Brock Purdy, it ain't going to be pretty. But I believe in this team that we can do it. I understand you're taking a lot of your star players out of the mix. I'm going to be putting a lot of pressure on the defense to really keep us into the game and not let them score. But if Brock Purdy doesn't play, I don't think that it is going to be the worst day in the history of the NFL. I think that we can escape that game 2-0, move on. We've shaken the kicking problem. Now it's just going to be a matter of plugging somebody in that is going to be our kicker, and let's roll from there. So let's have some fun. I believe next week we would play the Arizona Cardinals. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's what it is. And let's just keep going. I think it's going to be a Niner weekend. Let's go Sunday. We got the Saints. Peace out, everybody. What a first half of football. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to say that this is the best game I've ever seen. 49ers and Saints, 16-7 at the half. Mac Jones started the game off. I don't even know how to put it, how he started that game off, but it was not looking good. That two-minute drill that they ran there, going down the field with no timeouts. Pretty much beautiful. Juan Jennings catching the ball. We had Christian McCaffrey coming down with the touchdown. This game has not been great. The Saints, honestly, they put 7 up on the board. Spencer Rattler has ran the ball a couple of times pretty well. But honestly, I feel like this Saints team has every time they put a step forward, they're going 2 steps back. Just flags all over the field, both sides of the ball. They'll get it together. I mean, they're building a team there. But this is the 1 week that we can hit a speed bump like this. Mac Jones, 2 passing touchdowns. At one point, he had 7 straight completions. But dude is just a boring quarterback. I'm okay with them quarterbacking these few weeks with Brock Purdy being down. But if we would have drafted him, oh man, if we never would have saw Brock Purdy take over this team, very boring. That's the best way to put that he is running this offense. He's doing enough. We got the lead right now. I think we need to put some more points on the board, where we can make something. We don't want to put it all on the defense, but as long as Fred Warner and Nick Bosa can keep doing what they're doing, and we're seeing rookies step up all over the field. As I saw the new safety, he got a sack, coming in, and we've seen some big tackles, D winners out there. We can put it together. We can put this together, and we can escape New Orleans. I want to say that the fans traveled in. I will say that the Superdome honestly sounds like a home game for the second game in a row. We went to Seattle. We went to New Orleans. We can come back to play Arizona next week. We'll see. Bills are putting a licking out there in their game. But fun day of football all around. Hopefully we can all settle down so we can watch this Philly versus Chiefs game in the afternoon. Let's win this football game, Niners. We stole one. We stole one. 26-21. 49ers get the win against the Saints at the Superdome down there in New Orleans. Mac Jones, you got to give it to him. We're going to be doing this for probably 3-4 weeks, maybe 5. We're going to go to 2-0. Seattle beat Pittsburgh. The Rams are going to win their game. Arizona plays against Indianapolis, I think, today. I think we can stay up in the West. And next week we play the Cardinals. I'm really going to watch the Chiefs and Eagles game, but I think I'm going to be having an eye on the Cardinals, trying to figure out what's really going down there. I don't really like Kyler Murray that much. Marvin Harrison Jr., I think, is going to be one of the best wide receivers in football. I just hate who's throwing him the ball, but I hope that we can go out there and do it. Our second half, honestly, we did enough, but it wasn't great. But I'll take it. Juan Jennings, big, huge touchdown. Mac Jones, no interceptions on the day, no fumbles. Well, he did. I don't understand the one ball that did get fumbled out of his hand. I thought that, he was moving that arm forward, but they called it a strip sack. We lost the ball there. I wish we could have done a little bit more in the fourth when we needed the first down and we were trying to put points onto the board. I don't know why Pinheiro didn't kick that one 45-yard field goal. We punted. Maybe we didn't want to, in case we missed, be there. But day started off soft. We get that touchdown from the tight end. I apologize. I don't remember his name, but Tongan, I saw him out there a few times today. He caught the game winner last week. But Pinheiro missing the extra point early in the day was like, good God, I thought we got rid of this. We did see him hit a field goal on the day. They put up the stat that he has like one of the 4th best averages, 89% basically in the NFL. And I was kind of wondering, like, why this guy was a free agent. Why was he not in Carolina anymore? Did he miss some big kick? Did they just want to go younger? He's only had 5 years. This is his 6th in the NFL. Not really sure. But one hell of a day. Niners get the win. That's all it really that's all it really means when it comes down to it. New Orleans, they put up one hell of a fight. I don't know if Spencer Rattler is going to be the answer there, but they played well. Olave did basically everything that he could do. Kamara, he fumbled that one ball. Fred Warner just basically ran up and said thank you. Could have been called an incomplete pass. Could have been called his knee was down. Niners took the best case scenario, and we took the football. But at the end of the day, I think it did really have. I was going to say it didn't, but it had. Hey, this came down to a one-possession game, and it could have been anything. But ugly football. Let me just tell you the truth. I loved it that Jennings was out there. But we got to get other guys back. We got to get Brock back. We got to get Kittle back. Let's just, let us have the best chance scenario once we get down. We'll find out what team we got next week when we play Arizona. But Juszczyk went down with the concussion. You don't even know what Juszczyk means. I mean, when we run, when we pass, that fullback is one of the biggest things that Shanahan put into this offense that just honestly just means everything to us. But Niners get the win, 2-0. Congratulations to the Seahawks. Rams are going to win their game. See what's going on with the Cardinals in the West. And let's have one hell of a day. This Chiefs game against the Eagles is going to be huge. And then Monday night we got 2 games. But tonight, Minnesota and Atlanta. Sunday Night Football. Can't wait for football night in America to see some replays. Peace out, guys.